Welcome back to Admiral Sara Chronicles. I'm Admiral Sara. This week we are talking about Star Trek Next Generation, season 4, season 4, episode 5. This episode is called Remember Me. And I actually just caught this episode on Pluto TV, and so I watched it because I hadn't seen it in a long time. But it really like made me think law of attraction, like immediately, right? Because in this episode, of course, spoiler alerts, but in this episode, Dr. Crusher gets trapped in a warp bubble created by Wesley Crusher. And like it takes Wesley doing some like mental gymnastics with the traveler to get Beverly's attention to come out of the bubble. But while she's in the bubble, like people start disappearing, right? It starts with like her friend that had just come on board. And then like crew members on the ship start disappearing, and all of those things. And at some point in the episode, she's like, think Beverly, like, what were you thinking about right before people started disappearing? She was thinking about how everyone, she was losing people, right? She had lost her husband, she had lost her friend, and then people from, just domino effect, people started disappearing. And it really made me think of law of attraction because we create what we think about, right? So it's very simple. This is so simple, so literal, and such a literal example of this simple, law. And it's like easier said than done, right? Because we create all kinds of thoughts and fears and contexts and all of these things. And whatever we think about, we bring about. Energy, what is it? Energy flows where attention goes, kind of thing. And like, so if you're constantly thinking about people going away, people are gonna go away. If you are constantly thinking about how abundance flows into your life, whether it's abundance of money or abundance of people, then that will flow into your life, right? Like imagine if this episode would have been she was thinking about how many people she was bringing into her world, like the the complement on the ship might have like doubled or tripled in the warp bubble. um or something like that. But it's the law of attraction is really simple. You bring about what you think about. Several other ways to think about this would be like you are what you hang around, you become what you hang around. So if you're around a bunch of people who are, critical and cynical and all of those things, then you're likely going to become that way. So it's kind of one of those like, be careful who you hang around. I often I catch myself saying that about people all the time, and myself included, right? I have to be careful who I'm around all of the time. And that's why I keep like a virtual community and I keep connected to virtual community because, the people that I am immediately around don't do the work that I do. And that's fine. That's where they are. But for me to continue to thrive doing this work, or even flourish doing this work, I have to be around people doing this work, in order to, maintain and accelerate, my continued practice of astrology, of personal development, of leadership, all of those things. So very simple, very basic concept here of, she was thinking about, Dr. Crusher was thinking about who all she was losing. And then she gets caught in this bubble, this warp bubble. Um, and the warp bubble becomes like her own universe. It becomes, so think about it. Okay, let's do this. Imagine every time you have a thought that it manifests like instantaneously. So if you think I'm a piece of crap, do you become a smiling poo emoji? Like, do you become a piece of crap? Right? If you think you are a successful creator, you're a successful artist, you're a successful writer, then you instantaneously become a successful writer, right? And yes, in reality, becoming a successful writer or a creator does take time because you must develop your talent, right? You can have the skill, you can have the talent, but you, in order to be quote unquote good at it, you do have to develop it, right? You can't just jump right into, you don't just get to be a black belt in judo. You've got to spend, 10, you got to invest 10 years or more into practicing judo on a regular basis to become a black belt, right? But you can say, I'm a black belt in judo, I'm a black belt in judo. And that's how you motivate and discipline yourself into making that black belt happen, because you've got that idea in your head, and come hell or high water, you're going to make it to the dojo so that you can get the workouts in and continue to hone your technique and precision of your throws and whatnot. So it's very simple, very basic, and yet in this world that we live in, it's not always instantaneous. This is just a literal example of a very specific law of attraction. What you think about, you bring about. So think about that when you're talking to yourself. Think about that when you're talking to other people, your words, what energy they carry when you speak them. If you keep saying to yourself, I don't know what to do, I don't know what business I want, I don't know what content to create, I don't know what picture to draw, I don't know what, right? Like, I don't know. If you keep telling yourself that, then you're never going to know. This is where self-discovery comes in, right? If you want to be a creator, what are you good at creating, right? Like I really wanted to do crochet for sale. And I do take custom orders and I do sell crochet. However, majority of my crochet is just me wanting to do a crochet project, use a kind of yarn that I love, make a certain thing that I love to make, and I end up donating it. And I'm perfectly fine with that, right? I do make stuff that does sell, right? I do take orders and I do sell some crochet. But to actually like it's not a lack of technique or skill. There is really no crochet project that I cannot do at this point. I did a pretty intense project in 2020 and I proved to myself that there's nothing I can't do when it comes to crochet. Now I can't do like lace doilies or anything like that, but I could do it with like scaled yarn, scale it. Like I just can't crochet with that tiny a thread. But my point is that while I have the skill and the technique to crochet and sell it, I choose not to, because to keep up with that high of a demand, actually you have to keep more up on fashion and style and current trends and bullshit like that. And I just don't have that kind of space to do that. But like I said, I do take orders and I do custom orders and whatnot. But everything else I make, like hats, scarves, blankets, throws, things like that, either I'm making them for myself or my mom, or I'm making them to donate um, to local places that need winter gear, and pretty winter gear. And in some of those cases, my mom and I collab. But anyway, I digress. My point is that you can have a skill or technique. It doesn't mean you're going to use it to increase your income. It could just be your hobby thing that you do for fun, right? Maybe you do woodworking or metalsmithing or something like that. You do it just for fun, and that's okay. But the point is that when you want to do something, you have to pay attention to how you speak to yourself, how you speak to those around you, the words you use. Be very precise in your talk, in your verbiage, in what you say, right? And so, I don't know. This channel I feel like has evolved a lot. By the way, thank you so much to all the new subscribers. I'm very, very pleased that so many people are finding this. I feel like I've finally reached my point where I have like my niche content, my niche subject matters, and I'm just not afraid of who I am about those things anymore. Like I love Star Trek, I love tarot, I love astrology, I love tea. And I just love bringing all of that together on this channel. So anywho, that's kind of it, short, sweet, and to the point. I know a lot of you don't like when I get long-winded. Sorry, not sorry. But anyway, so join me on my regulars for the Moon Astrology Tarot. Of course, be looking for that Taurus new moon, sun and rising signs video. That'll be coming up quick. And so, yeah, thanks so much for tuning in to the Admiral Sara Chronicles. Again, if you want me to cover a sci-fi something that you're into and you would like me to put my spin on that, then just let me know in the comments and I'll get on it if I can get on it, right? I'll get to it if I can get to it. In other words, if I have access to it, because finding some of this shit on streaming anymore. I do want to do Doctor Who and Red Dwarf, but I don't know if I can even find Red Dwarf anywhere, but I would love to do Red Dwarf. I love that show. So let me know in the comments, what's the sci-fi thing that you love and that you would love to see me talk about with regards to emotional intelligence, astrology, laws, universal laws, blah, blah, blah. Okay, thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you on the next one. Bye.